Well, it may be late and pretty miserable out there right now, but on this Friday night, the Thunder Eve party with old friends got started before sundown. WHAS 11 team's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie are live with us right now in the heart of the Thunder Zone where the big crowds gather. So, Connor, what are they going to face in the morning? What kind of mess?
Doug, if today's weather is telling us anything, tomorrow could be somewhat of a mud bath here at Waterfront Park while you're trying to shuffle to get your seats. It's really easier to show you. So there's some dry spots here, but for the most part, what we are dealing with is puddles and wet and mud. This is obviously not great, especially if you're trying to get some seats out here with the family and the kids. But what we're hearing tonight is whether rain or shine, for people, thunder is thunder.
And you can fan yourself too if it gets too hot.
From the vendors ready to cash in.
Oh, I love it. The Ohio is that's our girl.
To a weekend-only home right on the river.
I'm telling you, the fellowship here, we look forward to this every year.
And old friends meeting up.
What's so special? The fireworks, but more than that, meeting people every year.
Inside the Thunder RV City, campers have been sitting up since Thursday. Show us what you got in here. Show us the setup.
Got the couch and the chairs. And then you got the bedroom.
For most, the Thunder Before Thunder is already underway.
So we got Thursday, Friday to socialize, and then we have Saturday for the festivities.
I was hiding this one here.
We cracked that last night.
For friends and strangers, they break out the good stuff. Pappy on Thunder.
We've been doing this over a decade.
3 years, man. It's my third season coming out.
Dion Washington is a toy vendor from Chicago, but made the trek out here for the weekend.
You see this stand,
He says it's well worth it for vendors like him.
they want to come out for the parades, the fireworks. It's amazing, brother. Best time ever.
Thousands will pack the waterfront for tomorrow's air show and fireworks spectacle.
The fireworks are literally right there.
Boater Chris Morris argues there's no better view than from atop his docked boat.
There's nothing better. This is the best spot for Thunder, to view Thunder, and all the city does for all of us that come and enjoy this kind of thing. It's amazing.
He'll be there, rain or shine.
Rain or shine. Look, we got redneck plastic set up because we didn't want to get wet. So yeah, rain or shine, it happens.
Rain or shine, that's correct. We've had sun, we've had snow, we've had rain, we've had tornado warnings where we actually had to take shelter in that building.
And after a terrible tragedy of a week,
within the shadows of what happened last week,
this city is ready to celebrate each other.
Hopefully we just kind of hold hands, hug each other, and appreciate, the moment. You know what I'm saying? Just bring us together.
Great sentiment you just heard right there. So to avoid sitting in spots like this tomorrow, you are allowed to bring tarps to the waterfront. Things kick off tomorrow around 3. The fireworks begin at 9. Just before then, we'll have a special tribute tomorrow for the victims of the mass shooting at Old National Bank last Monday, as well as the 2 who died and the others who are injured at Chickasaw Park. That was last Saturday. We're live here at Waterfront. Connor Steffen, the WHAS 11
All right, Connor, thank you very much. A great group you found there. Well, the planners and those who do the heavy lifting for Thunder start early and they stay late. Wayne Hettinger is the original, the Thunder producer who has created the soundtrack and the moving parts since day one. He's still heading up the massive effort with his trademark energy. His goal, keep it fresh every year.
It's like you worrying about how am I going to top last Christmas? So you just do. But I stay very active with what's new in the industry, new thoughts, and if I come up with something that's really right, pull the guys in together and say, okay, how can we do this?
He also noted planning for next year's Thunder has already started. Wayne, by the way, started his media career right here at WHAS TV in the 1970s. The U.S. Coast Guard is also prepping to keep you safe out on the water. Yes, there will be boaters out there even in the weather you're hearing about. They say they're anticipating more boats due to better than expected weather conditions. That means no rain. As always, they're reminding you to be cautious. There are several things you must do before hitting the water tomorrow, including wearing a life jacket and checking out your boat.
We want to encourage everyone to check their batteries, ensure their boat plugs are in when they launch their boats from the boat ramp, and ensure that all their other safety equipment is on board for when they are out on the water.
Don't drink while you're out on the water to make sure everybody has a safe Thunder.
And that is the key. Keep it safe. Remember, there's limits on where you can go on the river. Boaters cannot anchor past the Big Four Bridge, and a no entry zone is set up from the McAlpin Lock and Dam to 200 yards upriver of the Big Four. By the way, speaking of the Big Four, it is closed to people and has never been open for Thunder over Louisville. Remember to leave your tents, pets, and grills at home tomorrow. They are not allowed. You cannot tape or rope off any large area to reserve your spots, but keep this in mind, you're going to need this. Blankets and tarps and lawn chairs are all allowed in the Thunder area. Well, the fun kicks off at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. That's when the air show begins. Then the fireworks light up the sky for nearly 30 minutes starting at 9:30 p.m. We have a full list of the rules along with some helpful advice in our full Thunder over Louisville guide that our staff has put together. Just text the word Thunder to 502-582-7290. We'll send a link right back to your cell phone. All new here on the night team, more local news. A new statement from the ATF is now helping clarify the future of that AR-15 used in the mass shooting at Old National Bank downtown, killing 5 people and injuring 8 others. Yesterday, the ATF confirmed to WHAS11 that they had the gun as evidence in the federal investigation into the incident. They told us they would be following federal laws when it comes to what happens to that gun. In a statement today, they clarified, saying, quote, in general, firearms seized by ATF in federal investigations are disposed of in accordance with federal law and are not transferred to KSP for auction. That settles one big concern from many, including the family of the gunman who just yesterday also called for that rifle to be destroyed. A judge has ruled that triple murder suspect Bryce Rhodes is competent to stand trial. Rhodes accused of the 2016 murders of Larry Ordway, Maurice Gordon, and Christopher Jones. The competency hearing comes after several outbursts in court where he's accused investigators of misconduct and accused a judge of being racist. Police say Rhodes also had violent outbursts. He's accused of assaulting a nurse in the jail during a medical examination. A trial is scheduled for December 11th. And the U.S. Supreme Court is putting on hold for now the decision of a Texas judge, which reversed a decades-old FDA approval of a widely used abortion pill. This means the drug will remain available while the appeals play out in the courts. Here's ABC's Justin Finch.
Hours shy of its self-imposed midnight deadline, the Supreme Court granting a full stay of a lower court ruling to reverse FDA approval of mifepristone. The decision allowing the abortion pill to remain widely available for now as a legal challenge plays out in a lower court. President Biden releasing a statement moments after the decision, saying, "My administration will continue to defend FDA's independent expert authority to review, approve, and regulate a wide range of prescription drugs." The senior counsel for the anti-abortion group Alliance Defending Freedom, which brought the initial mifepristone case challenging its FDA approval, responding in a statement, writing, "We look forward to a final outcome in this case that will hold the FDA accountable." In less than 1 month, the Fifth Circuit Appeals Court is due to hear oral arguments on the mifepristone case, which could eventually arrive back at the Supreme Court. Dr. Jack Resnick, president of the American Medical Association, saying the case could have wider impacts on patient health and medical research.
The risk is that we're going to have judges all over the country looking at Tylenol and looking at drugs that happen to have been developed with stem cells that we use to treat any number of diseases. We think it really puts the country at risk.
Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas issuing dissenting opinions in this case. Alito writing that the court grant stays where there are threats of real harm and that he does not see any as this case plays out. Justin Finch, ABC News at the Supreme Court.
Now, drug overdose deaths in Kentucky fell by 5% in 2022. It is the first decline in 4 years, giving true hope treatment efforts are working. Today, however, Governor Andy Beshear said in an update that the addiction epidemic remains a public health crisis. The Commonwealth once again surpassing 2,000 deaths last year. Increased use of fentanyl has been widely blamed as a key factor behind the high death toll.
That number is still far too high. The number of people that we're losing to overdose deaths, 1 is too many. But with the opioid epidemic, we see far, far too many.
The issue has risen to the forefront of this year's campaign for governor. Republican Kelly Craft says she supports the death penalty for drug traffickers found responsible for causing a Kentuckian's fatal overdose.